Ba ba da dum bum bum bum. Boom! We are now live. How's everybody doing? You might be rolling in the door right now. It is just about 2 o'clock, and your EasyWebinar should redirect you in about, oh gosh, 14, 13, 12. I'm getting kind of anxious. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Very soon here, you will be brought into the room itself, and you will now be watching me. Now, if you are coming into the room right now, a couple things you should know, that there is, as you may or may not know, a 30-second to 1 minute delay, okay? 30-second to 1 minute delay for live events. Now, this is live, okay? Even though you have, as you can look on this page and see, we have the registered participants to the left, and then you have some options of downloading some great material above where you can then put your question. So you can put a question there and I will get it. And if you want me to prove it's live, go ahead and pop in a question and I will respond to you in real time, and then you will know that we are live as the day is long, so to speak. So just testing my volume, making sure everything looks okay. And I think it looks all right. How is everybody doing? How are you? What's new with you? Man, here in LA, which is probably a lot different from where you are, it is ridiculously hot, okay? And here's the problem. I have my lights going on right now, and you can probably see because I have the reflection in my glasses that my lights are on. So if I start overheating, I might have to turn these suckers off because they're getting kind of hot. So just to let you know. And also if the glare starts annoying you, just let me know and I can take that out. So yeah, if you are here, pop in a question, say hi. Let me know where you're from, and remember what we're going to be talking about. This is all about getting your questions answered, okay? That's the biggest thing. I want to get your questions, concerns answered about using EasyWebinar, understanding the software of EasyWebinar, and also how you can use EasyWebinar as your software for doing both live events and automated events. This is live. This is not pre-recorded or automated. However, I guarantee that you would not know the difference when it does go automated. The only difference is that I can talk to you as soon as you ask me a question. So please prove. Let's prove that it's live by answering some questions. All you have to do is put your question in, and here we have our first question. Anchor is saying, and I got your email, Anchor Bell. I think I'm pronouncing your name right earlier. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you. I'll send you an email about Producers Academy pretty soon here. Of which, by the way, I will be mentioning today. So we're going to be talking about the newest things that we've been rolling out, the newest initiatives to make sure that your events are perfect, that you can do events that do profit and do connect on a deeper level with your audience and does bring in leads and traffic. Okay, that's the whole point of all this. So Anchor says, FYI, everything looks good. Can hear you fine, Casey. Anchor, virtual high five. Thank you so much. And next we have John Seeley from the UK. Hi John, how are you? Glad you are here. Now you know that this is live because I said your name and you sent me a question. Okay, and we have Cheryl Vaughn. What is happening, Cheryl Vaughn? How are you? How are you? San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. You're in Mexico. Wow, and have not used online events yet, and you're launching a big product in the next month. Well, this is going to be very relevant to you because one of the things that I talk about, which I'm going to talk about today, is the 4 steps to the event launch blueprint for launching a product and service using online events and why you should do that, okay? You probably know the traditional methodology of launching a product, Jeff Walker's formula, which is a terrific formula, but you probably have seen now that a lot of people have been doing live webcasts and things of that nature. Well, I've developed a system, a 4-part system, to where you can launch any product or service using the power of online events and how you can profit, increase your profitability 10 to 20 times, okay, by following this system. And I'm going to teach you this. I'm going to show you what the system is, okay? You're going to learn all 4 steps, And then obviously I'll reveal to you EasyWebinar, which is the software for doing all 4 steps. And then it's your option at that point if you want to come in and pick up EasyWebinar at that point. But you should also understand that I will be talking about my launch stream program, which is my one-on-one coaching, which is really all about these 4 steps, but it's a coaching program. So I hold your hand and we go through the process, and you and I work together through this bootcamp training. Okay, this is where I teach you how to launch your product using these methodologies. Okay, I hold your hand, and especially if you're launching a product, Launch Stream might be great for you. It's a coaching program all about really digging deep into these 4 steps. So I'll be talking about that, and of course, Producer's Corner as well. So Anchor, we'll be talking about that, and then of course I'm going to jump into EasyWebinar, answering your questions, but also going into giving you some good meat so you kind of understand how to launch a product using software like EasyWebinar. We are the only software that can do all 4 steps of the event launch blueprint. So the software for launching your product and service using the power of online events. So I will talk about that as well. And if I have time, I want to share with you some SpeakPipe questions that came in from our SpeakPipe. I don't know if you know what SpeakPipe is, and if I'm talking too fast, I apologize. I always talk fast when I jump on an event. So SpeakPipe is when you see that you can ask a voicemail from our website. That's SpeakPipe. It's an app. It's a really great app. If you haven't ever used it, it's free. You can actually add it to your site and respond to people right away. So speakpipe.com, check it out. But anyway, we have people coming in and asking questions mostly every single day, and I'm going to share some of those questions with you as well if we have time. So I see a couple more questions coming in. Jarrett is saying, relative to hosting my own event, what lights are you using? Okay, well, these guys are simply just, they are called the rodeo. It's the rodeo lights, okay? Softboxes, okay? Rodeo softbox lights. Okay, I'm already getting warm. I can tell my brain is melting. So it's called the Cowboy. Let me just make sure and Google this. So Cowboy rodeo lights. Let's do rodeo lights. I think that might be it. And so it's softboxes. And I got these from Amazon. Softbox lights, rodeo kit. Okay, let me check here. Cowboy Studio, that's what it's called. I knew it was something about Cowboy Rodeo. So it's called Cowboy Studio, and it's a three lit system. I have 2 softboxes and then an overhead that's not in here. It's in my closet in the other room. But I really don't need it. I just really need these guys right here. These are, let me just turn this over so you can see. Okay, see that? That's one of the softboxes right there. And sorry, here's another one right here. Yeah. These are just simply very simple. It's called Cowboy softboxes, and it's a set of 3, and it's really nice to use. The lighting is great, and then of course, if you're wondering what kind of camera I'm using the Logitech C920 right here, which is really great for streaming any live event, using Google Hangouts. This is of course what we're using right now is the live stream into EasyWebinars, Google Hangouts, but of course you can also use this for YouTube Live as well. So I hope that answers your question. And let me see, we had one other question. Let me just check here. Oh, we have some more coming now through the door. Anchor saying, awesome, excellent, I'm glad. So yeah, I'll talk about Producer's Corner as well. And Mauricio saying, hi Casey. Is this webinar going to be recorded and shared with us? Here's the cool news, by the way, FYI. I love saying FYI. Every event that you do using the power of Google Hangouts or YouTube Live is automatically pre-recorded. So the brilliant thing about our software and what you're seeing right now is that when I end this event, okay, this will now automatically go into a pre-recorded event, and you can use EasyWebinar to stream it out in your attendee's own time zone at specific times, and it will stream in real time. So if someone comes 30 minutes late, it will have a real-time effect to it. That's the brilliant thing about it. So to answer your question, and a lot of people, you know, some of the people out there in the marketing world put out false scarcity, and they say, I don't know if it's going to have a recording. Well, this will have a recording. As soon as I click the stop broadcast, there will be a recording. Whether I mail out on it or not is a different story, but chances are, if you came back to this page, you could probably watch this event again. However, I have control of when this event stops and stops being available from this same particular link that you're watching it from. It's really kind of cool. EasyWebinar gives you so many cool things you could do, and thank you for the great question, Mauricio. I have Lauren. Lauren is here, and we'll give a yeah. Give a yeah. Everyone should buy the system as it is awesome. I have to leave for another meeting soon. I'm happy to be a testimony. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren is actually one of my launch stream students, and she's also an EasyWebinar customer, and she's done some great stuff. I'm always happy to share her stuff, and if anyone has any questions about anything, do let me know. Okay, I'm kind of getting warm here. Boy, oh boy, it's getting hot. Wade is saying, hi, Casey. How is the reliability of Google Hangouts now relative to other options such as GoToWebinar? Wade Bird it is that's actually asking this. And Wade, it's been so long since I've talked to you. How are you, man? Well, let me explain. Google Hangouts, as long as you learn how to use it effectively, like I'm doing right now, it's just as good. It's just as good. You notice I'm answering your questions. I'm answering your questions as they're coming through. Yes, there's a 30-second delay, but the good news is that the streaming mechanism is brilliant, and using it with EasyWebinar is just a perfect combination. Here's the thing. A lot of people, the problem with Google Hangouts, I'll give you the real problem with Google Hangouts, is that when you start a Google Hangout from, say, Google+, it automatically becomes public to the world, okay? That video, because now you can watch this Google Hangout inside YouTube, inside Google+, okay? And it's everywhere. So how can you do private events like what we're doing right now? Well, I started this event using YouTube Live. You see, you can create a Google Hangout through YouTube Live and set the event to unlisted, and then this environment is the same exact environment as GoToWebinar at that point. What do you think about that, Wade? What do you think? Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I wish, and maybe I'll bring you guys on so you can kind of talk to me. I'll bring you into the Google Hangout so we can have a chat. But yeah, it's that. So it works just as effectively. I got rid of Google GoToWebinar last year, and I've been able to increase my profitability using my 4-step system, the 4 steps to the event launch blueprint, which brings in about 10 to 20 times more than just doing a live event alone. And that's a big thing here, guys. EasyWebinar is not just a software, but it is a tool for maximizing your profitability. That's the beauty of it. Yes, you could do a live event. Yes, you can do automated events. But doing all 4 steps of the event launch blueprint is where you truly profit. And that is where you actually launch a product. That's the event launch blueprint that I'm referring to. And that's what we teach in Launch Stream. That's the coaching program that I have. So anyway, but I will be sharing with you the 4 steps to the event launch blueprint. Okay, this is not a well, it's a sales webinar for those who are not EasyWebinar customers, and I'm not hard pitching anything today. This is really just me sharing with you the 4 steps to the event launch blueprint, which are highly effective, along with showing you and answering any questions that you might have about EasyWebinar. Okay, so if you want to pick up EasyWebinar at the end of this, you want to pick up EasyWebinar right now, I am going to give you some bonuses available with it, but this is not a hard sale event. Okay, so just be aware that I just want to give you some knowledge. That's my biggest thing here, and that's why I use this instead of GoToWebinar, because I used to use the GoToWebinar and several different other products when I did the 4 steps of the event launch blueprint, but now I don't have to. I can use just EasyWebinar alone. So I will come on to that. Again, as I mentioned, though, I wanted to answer some questions, so we have a couple more. Yep, Lauren was just confirming that it was the cowboy softbox lighting. Okay, excellent. So let me see here. Okay, so Mauricio has another question. I've read that Google Hangout has a delay of about 20 to 30 seconds, which makes the interaction difficult with the assistance to the webinar in real time. Is this true? If it is, how do you manage the interaction in real time? Well, guess what? Can you tell that my interaction is not in real time? Put yes or no. Put yes or no below if you can tell that my interaction is not in real time. And if you can't, then I've already figured out how to do this to where it isn't a problem. And if you can, there's a simple solution. All you have to do is let people know in the beginning of your event that there is a 30-second to 1-minute delay. And because of that, put your questions in now. See, I don't rely on questions coming in, and maybe this is where I'm different. Maybe this is where I don't care when the questions come in. You don't want to be sitting there, and I posted about this over the weekend. You don't want to be sitting there waiting for questions to come in, because what if they never come in? What are you going to do when the questions don't start pouring in? You're going to be stuck, your mouth ajar, waiting for the questions to come in, and you're not going to get anything. You're not going to express anything about what you're teaching that day. You know, you're just not going to convey your message. So you have to start conveying your message, get the comments as they roll in, and then jump into your presentation. That's the part of it that you have to kind of understand, that you don't want to rely on the comments. You might have people watching, they're just not commenting. Okay? So that was a really, really, really good question. Wade says, cool, and Mauricio says, no, I can't tell that it's not in real time. Exactly. You can't tell that it's not in real time. And you may have asked that question maybe a minute ago, but I responded in 30 seconds. So as you can see, there is no issue when you're using EasyWebinar with it, because here's the beauty of EasyWebinar. If we start an event at 2 o'clock, I just go in and click Start Broadcast in my Google Hangout, and then it streams into EasyWebinar at the exact moment of 2 o'clock. Sometimes I'll start even a 30-second to 1 minute earlier, because I know I'm good at this now. I mean, I figured it out. I use this more and better than I can do like GoToWebinar now. I mean, this is my thing now, okay? So I even start the broadcast button in my Google Hangout 30 seconds before you guys are redirected into the room, okay? So I know to start, this is what's so cool, I know to start 30 seconds, like about 1 minute and 59, I started at 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 30 seconds. That's when I clicked that Start Broadcast button, and I started going, hey, how's it going, everybody? So you, immediately when you came in, you saw me doing that. Now, you don't have to do it that way. You can even just have an image pop in saying, hey, great, you're here at 2 o'clock. You can have an image that says, hey, great, you're here. We're going to be starting in 5 minutes. Go get your, hydrate with a water or something like that. And I've done that several times. And it's when you understand and you grasp some of these, the technology. Once you really understand this technology, it's like you're flowing. And it's not like you have to. It's not like you have to learn the piano. A piano, how long does that take? That probably takes 5 to 10 years to learn the piano effectively. Although I did see something about a 4-year-old savant pianist on Facebook today. But learning these skills won't take you that long. Okay, that's the beauty of it. Learning these skills will not take you 5 years. It will take you probably 2 weeks. If you practice, it'll take you less time. And that's why I created that online broadcast course, everybody. Right? You probably got the emails from it last week. I had an online broadcast course which was all about teaching you how to use Google Hangouts and YouTube Live and integrating into EasyWebinar. But most importantly, how to use it as a presenting tool so you can understand the technology. You see, the integration with EasyWebinar is pretty simple. You just take the URL for the YouTube video once it's live and pop it into EasyWebinar. That's all you have to do. Okay? EasyWebinar does the rest. You have to set your timed events if you want timed events to pop up at certain times. But the difficult challenge is to understand what kind of cameras to use, what kind of lighting to use, how to present, how to not, become a deer in the headlights, and how to not freak out when things go bad. I think that's one of the biggest things, is that people, they tend to freak out when, say, the internet cuts out and they just don't know what to do. They pull their hair out and they stop using something because it frightens them, right? Well, I've learned how to master this. I've learned that I don't even care. If we have an internet issue happen right now, I don't care. Why don't I care? Because with EasyWebinar, it doesn't matter. You're already on the page. I could start a new Google Hangout and come right back into this page, and it would be fine. Okay? You wouldn't really realize you would see the difference, but EasyWebinar gives you the ability to stream and keep them there. GoToWebinar, what happens if it cuts out? What if your internet cuts out? Everything cuts out, right? Well, with EasyWebinar, it's a different story. You can put in a different Google Hangout if you need to, and these are the things I've learned. I've learned a couple things. If you're in our group, I have a document all about how to live stream. Right? I talk about how you should have a hard line into your computer that goes right into your the hard line into your internet, so that you can stream effectively. Actually, right now, what's interesting and funny is that I'm actually using Wi-Fi right now, and it's okay. I don't mind using Wi-Fi because I know that my processor on my for my computer really works well, and I don't have to concern myself or worry about it. Okay, so I don't have to really worry. Anchor is saying, do you foresee Google/YouTube eventually solving the 30-second to 45-second delay? I think so. Yeah, that Anchor said I think so, and I'm going to agree with you. Yes, I think they are, but in the meantime, it doesn't really matter. To me, it doesn't matter because I'm not having to. It just doesn't matter. Like if I wanted to have a conversation with you, Anchor, I would bring you directly into the Google Hangout conference room with me, and we'd talk there, and everybody else would be watching. So to me, it just doesn't matter. I really enjoyed the online broadcast event from the other day, especially the Wirecast with YouTube Live. Oh, Anchor, are you one of our members of online broadcasts? That must be why you received that, right? Yeah, so I taught about this in online broadcast, guys. I just did a presentation to our online broadcast members all about using the power of YouTube Live and Wirecast, right? And so thank you for coming to that. And of course, if you are an online broadcast member, that was available to you. So thanks, man. I appreciate that. So here's what I want to do. I want to jump in to going into the presentation. Now, some of you may have seen this presentation, some of you may have not. I'm going to go through it quickly, I hope, and then after that, I'm going to go and do some SpeakPipe questions, okay, that we oftentimes get. And some things you should know, EasyWebinar is great for doing for building your list, because you have to remember something. You can tie it into your own autoresponder. And I've been working with, it's also easy to double opt-in with your own autoresponder, okay? Some people don't know that, but EasyWebinar is great for doing double opt-in as well. So you can get, people on your list, they double opt-in, and they maybe can come to our thank you page, okay? And I have a guy who's working on that video this week, so we'll have maybe a bit of that information. He actually is someone who had questions about it. We got on a call, and boom, we knocked it out. So you're saying, Jay Early, how are you, Jay? Jay Early? I hope I'm getting that right. Either one. You are asking, how do we bring certain people into the Google Hangout to interact with by video? Well, it's very, very easy. You see, when Google Hangout will give you an invite link, okay? An invite link, all right? And I can actually give this out. I can give this link out to people. And you can come into the room with me. So that means you would come into the conference room with me, and I can kind of share that with you. And I can show you kind of how that looks by sort of sharing my screen. But I'll do that later on. Okay, I will do that later on. But at the moment, I want to go into the presentation. But to answer your question, Jay, if you would like to come into the live room. Anybody who wants to come into the live room, please put in, yes, Casey, I want to come to the live room, and I will invite you personally using the Google Hangout link, okay, using the link from Google Hangout, so you have that, okay? So, again, if you want to come into the room, put that in here, put it in the question, yeah, Casey, I want to come into the room, and I'll send that to you, and then we'll do a Q&A as soon as we come to the end of this particular session here, all right? So, okay, excellent. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to go in and start the slide presentation. So, and this is the power of Google Hangouts. This is the power of using this type of software, you know, YouTube Live. There's so many things with YouTube Live, and Anchor, who I believe was, yeah, as he said, he was one of our students that came through. I showed you guys how to play video inside YouTube Live. I mean, it was so cool. Right now we're just using YouTube Live in Google Hangouts combined here, so it's not as functional, but it does have a lot of options. What's great about Google Hangouts is that I can have up to 10 people in this event with me. Where YouTube Live, you can do that using Wirecast, but you have to set up external IPs to bring people in, which is a little more complex. Okay, that's like, you know, live streaming 201 or even 301. So, so at this point, let's just go in and let me share with you a little bit of a presentation. Okay, can you see this right now? You should be able to see this presentation. Just let me know if you can, or if you can't. I'd love to know. And let me just make sure, because now it's showing some things a little differently in Google Hangouts. So it says present to everyone. I think it is. Go ahead and put in the chat if it's not, but I'm going to click present to everyone. Okay. Yeah, so now you should see my Google Hangout, or sorry, my presentation. And if you can't, do let me know, please. I welcome that. So, oh yeah, well you do. I just checked. Okay, cool. So let's talk here for a quick second. And this is all about the 4 steps of the event launch blueprint. This really kind of jumps in and talks about, you know, why you can use EasyWebinar and how you can use EasyWebinar to launch your products out into the market. And Wade, you had a question about this. You know, can this take the place of GoToWebinar? And my answer is yes. Okay, I have no bones about saying that. I have no bones about being very, very clear about that. I got rid of my GoToWebinar because I'm able to do everything that I want to do with it. And plus, we're building out a more extensive chat box that is very similar to GoToWebinar. But you know, with EasyWebinar, you can have different chat options in here. You can use Facebook or Twitter. You can use any third-party chat such as Livefire or Chatwing. So it just gives you so many options. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about this. Have you ever experienced this? You had too few people coming to your live events, desperate to get more on the call. Technical problems arise during the live event that meant a loss in sales. Well, in this, you'll learn mostly how no matter how big of a list you have, no matter how many people you get to your live events, or how many technical screw-ups arise, you can still profit 10 to 20 times more than your typical event promotion. And this is using the event launch blueprint, which can double, triple, and quadruple your sales, no matter how small of a community you have. Because here's the thing, most people typically do one out of these 4 steps. And that one is they do a live event, okay? But they don't do the rest of them. So let me ask you a question, true or false, and maybe you've answered this before. It's 100 times harder to rise above the noise with our message today. What do you think, true or false? Go ahead and put that in the chat box. Well, I'm just going to jump in, folks, and I believe it's false. You see, with the proper tools, message, and value proposition, you can easily rise above the noise. You just have to know how to do it. So put your response below. Again, as I said, you can build an entire business using webinars and online events. What do you think? Well, here's the deal. I'm going to definitely be biased. And I am going to say true. Using online events and webinars, you can provide education, inspiration, and value, which in turn builds trust and authority. And this is the currency of the future. But more importantly, you can use online events to create consistent revenue. And online events are a billion-dollar industry because here's the thing, the biggest companies in the world are using them, and when you can incorporate the automation side of things, that frees you up to do the things you love. And you probably know my story, right? How I started out. I'll come on to that because you know I didn't profit until I started using online events and webinars. So here's a bit of a case study. Fernando, he is a webinar machine. He works with a company, and they did, to start, about $100,000 per webinar, which is amazing. Okay, that's amazing. But this is like a big Fortune 500 company. But he was able to use this type of system to come in and increase their profitability by 10 to 20 times, to where now per webinar they do about 2 to 3 million, and it's using this same strategy system. So that is why I'm going to show you at this event my $40,000 case study on a recurring promotion, just from what I've been doing in the last couple months here. Okay, I want to share with you how I use it, because that's the thing. I feel like you need to know that I use it. Like, you don't see me doing GoToWebinars because I use my own software, but I see so many people, even the biggest companies selling huge levels of huge numbers of licenses. They sometimes use GoToWebinar and other products besides their product. I don't do that. When I do an event from that is my own, it's always using EasyWebinar because I know it works. I'm very confident with it, and I love the flexibility I get with it. So this event, if you are a small business owner, a local business, an offline store, information product creator, physical goods or e-commerce site, coach or consultant, artist and performer, author, thought leader, service-based industry, a visionary who just wants to change the world, this is going to be right for you. So just so you're clear on the terminology, the event launch funnel is looking at the complete life cycle of an event in order to profit from it. This is the unique system and blueprint that we'll be talking about, and this is what I put together. Okay? So if you don't know me, if this is your first time here and you're just wondering who this crazy guy is you're talking to, this is Kate. My name is Casey, and I actually started off in TV, film, and stage. Okay? But then I hated being a broke actor, so I went into real estate for about 8 years, and I did very well. My partner and I, we had a $1 million company, but then in 2008, everything went wrong. As you well know, the recession hit, and we were hit really hard. I had to figure out something else. I almost lost this house that we live in currently, and I was trying to determine how I was going to do that, how I was going to, first off, profit and make money, but then I was also trying to figure out and establish my niche. Well, the reason I'm pointing all this out is because I actually went back to my passion, which is theater or acting, but I went back in a way where I could do something that would help other people, and by doing so, I created courses on how to leverage YouTube. I created this software, obviously, developed the software so that you could stream out your own message out to the world, and that's how that's how I decided to get back into my passion. I'm speaking to you right now. This is still a passion of mine. I love speaking to people. I love communicating. I love trying to get you to just tap into your own inspiration and your own voice and your own passions and your own niche, because everybody has one. Everybody has their own unique voice, and you probably know that I really stress authenticity oftentimes. Don't try to be anything you're not. Just be the best you can possibly be. Anyway, I don't mean for this to be a personal development session, but I feel very strongly about these things, and I put them in our software. I put them in my message daily because it's just what I feel is that's just my own passions and beliefs. Okay, and I always feel like the way you differentiate yourself within the market is you express your feelings, you express your passions, you express why you do what you do. Okay, so I've been online since about 2010. Didn't make any money until about 2011. I started doing consulting for YouTube stuff, and then I started rolling in to creating my first course, my first online course using that was all about YouTube, and it did very well. And this is where I'm at today. I'm still a big dork, as you can probably tell, but very serious when it comes to teaching and absorbing top engagement strategies for online success. I've trained over 5,000 people on the subject of video marketing, webinars, and online events, and YouTube as a traffic and conversion source. I've worked with such clients as Estee Lauder, Dell, HarperCollins. I've shared the stage with brilliant minds like Mari Smith, Damon Jod, Chris Farrell, Ryan Lee, Andrew Locke, Mike Hill, many more. I did a creative live this last year all about using the power of online events for building your community online. I'm also the creator of EasyWebinar, which is the software you're using watching this event with. that creates pre-recorded webinars and live webinars, which this is, as a source for converting leads into sales through engagement. So if you are just getting here now, don't worry. I will be answering your questions, real questions, as they come through. So if you want to test me to see if this is live or if this is automated, ask your question and I will be answering and showing you and revealing to you that it is in fact live, okay? So at first, though, it was not easy for me, okay? As I said, I had to figure out my niche, and I was remembering what work was, you know, the traditional concept of work, and I was fighting against that. That's why I started off as an actor, and that was my passion, but I felt like I just couldn't make any money at my passions. I don't know if you guys have this relate to this at all. And so I went in the direction of real estate. Boring, but I actually love real estate now, okay? Because now I can do it and still love what I'm doing. You know, at that time, real estate had a negative thing to me because it was what I did daily. I had to deal with people all the time, and it was just that were negative on occasion. So it was just a really bad situation. But now, you know, when you can come at things on your own terms, it changes the world completely. So, you know, I was getting overwhelmed when I came online trying to figure all this stuff out. By the Internet Marketing Product of the Week that promised to change your life. I had family members snickering behind my back because I had been trying this for a year or so, never really made any money, and I saw 327 different ways to profit, but not really sure which the right direction was, combined with my passion. You know, I saw products out there, but I didn't resonate with the people selling those products. They felt a little slimy to me. They felt a little sleazy. They felt, you know, you can make $1 billion in a week, you know, and I just knew that wasn't real. And you know, this business is not easy. I mean, this has taken me quite some time to build out. And you know, if I have to stress anything, hard work does pay off, but you have to put in the work. You know, I was really frustrated, in general doubt of myself, my decisions, and vision. Basically, you know, pretty much everything. But it's only when I started using the power of webinars to sell my online products and boot camps, okay, is when I started to profit. Seriously, that's the very first moment I started to profit, is when I started to roll in webinars, because I could connect with my audience, sell in real time, and it bridged this gap of impersonality. I could answer questions in real time. It was just a fabulous moment in history when that happened. So something else you should know about webinars and online events. Even if you're just starting out, oftentimes you can profit from them. That's the beauty of it. That's the brilliant thing about it. And when I started off, you have to understand, I was doing terrible events, okay? I was awful. And you know, my first event, very first sales webinar, I made about $2,000. I had about 400 people on it, and I was being promoted by a marketer with a much bigger list than myself, okay? And this is how those numbers look. $2,000 at 400 people, that's $5 EPA. And do you know what EPA is? If you do, put it in the question box. What's EPA? Do you know what it is? Put that in. Well, if you don't, let me explain it. EPA means earning per attendee. So I was making $5 per attendee, which I have to tell you something. You see, webinars are great for selling higher ticket price items. And $2,000 off of 400 people is really not a really good number. It's not. It's in fact, nowadays I can do the same $2,000 divided by 30. So $2,000 divided by 400. Yeah. So I can now make $2,000 divided by, let's say, 30. And that's $66 earning per attendee, okay? That's what I'm able to do nowadays, $66 earning per attendee, because I don't need to have 400 people on to profit. And if you have a boot camp, if you have a coaching program, sell that coaching program, sell that boot camp for a decent higher ticket price, because you're going to be working with someone hands-on, you're the expert, they're learning from you, and charge for your services. Find the value, and all you have to do is sell 2 people out of 30 people, and you've now made $2,000. That's a $66 earning per attendee on 30 people alone, and that is typical of what I'm able to do now, and that's typical of what you should be able to do if you're selling higher ticket price items. But back in the day, people, I lacked the confidence, and my message was a bit unclear. Often I would share way too much content, which would overwhelm my audience. But, we have to start somewhere. So I just kept doing them over and over again, failing over and over again. And then it wasn't unheard of for me to do 40 people on an event and make 3,000 in sales, because I would sell 3 out of those 40 people. And let's look at those numbers. 40 divided by, 3,000 divided by 40. That's $75 earning per attendee. Compared to my $5, that's pretty good, right? Well, that's what I was able to do. And this was simply doing a live event alone. Okay, get this clear in your mind. This was simply doing only a live event. This was before I had a real grasp on how to take advantage of the full event life cycle. You see, most people, guys, as I mentioned, they do one of the 4 steps to the event launch blueprint, and that is a live event. But just imagine if you took that live event and then you leveraged it 4 times over, you could profit, well, you would think only 4 times as much. But in fact, I've noticed that when I do a live event, I can normally get 10 to 20 times more through the event launch blueprint than just singularly doing the live event alone, okay? Which can really hedge against the painful too few people at your event or tech issues, okay? If you just have 30 people show up at your event and you only sell 1, well, don't freak out about it, because chances are you could double that, triple that, quadruple that through this process, okay? And I use EasyWebinar to do all of them. So most people that are using events, as I said, they leave at least 1 or 2 pieces of the life cycle puzzle, which is leaving money on the table. And using all 4 steps of the event launch blueprint can change your conversions and profit dramatically. And as I mentioned, 10 to 20 times, okay? Just like Fernando here, right? And here is just a screenshot of when I was doing online events and just the live event alone. 12 months of sales, $245,000. Well, that's changed dramatically because now I do all 4 steps of the event launch blueprint, not just the live. So just imagine if I had actually gone through the process of doing 3 other steps, I probably would have profited way more. So this is actually using two of the steps, okay? But that's the thing, is that there's more money to be had. So what is it, you might be wondering, right? At this point, you might be chomping at the bit, like, what is this, Casey? What is the 4 steps? Okay, well, let me tell you what it is. It's the event launch funnel, okay? And chances are, if you've been on my list, if you've seen this webinar before, then you might know about this already. But this is how this sucker works. You do the live event, but you don't stop there. You make money on the live event, great. But then you do a rebroadcast event, say, that evening or the next morning of that same event, and you double your sales. You then do a timed replay, and this is where you make a lot more money, and you go in and triple your sales, potentially even more than that, right? After that happens, then you set that same event into an automated evergreen event. And this is all one event, okay? This is me taking one funnel, one event funnel, and repurposing it to not just do the live event, but then rebroadcast it, set up a timed replay, and boom, send them to the automated webinar that continues to generate sales automatically on autopilot. Okay, does this look pretty simple to you? What do you think? Does it look pretty simple? Let me know. So what do you think? Yes, yes, yes? I think it does. So why don't more people do all these 4 steps? What do you think? Well, here's the reason. In the past, to do a complete event launch funnel, you would need literally 3 to 4 different pieces of software and an AV guy helping along, and that's what people still do today. Trust me, there are still people out there doing this right now in their marketing. They are in their funnels. They're using GoToWebinar and all sorts of other stuff, paying an AV guy thousands of dollars, and it's, for what? And I'm going to share with you, how you don't have to do that. See, first off, not all of us have the resources capable of finding the right AV guy, which is an audio-video person, let alone have the money to pay them for continuously for the services rendered. And it gets way too confusing and frustrating when it comes to just how many pieces of software you need to make all the bells and whistles work. But again, it surprises me that many people aren't 100% familiar with the event launch funnel in the first place. Because I started doing this a few years ago with GoToWebinar, though. I did the live event with GoToWebinar. I then do a broadcast event, GoToWebinar, using an AV guy. I then set up a replay event using a third-party page builder like LeadPage, well, at the time, Optimized Press or Campaign Builder or something like that. And then I'd take that and then I'd put it into an automated evergreen platform system to do the evergreen events. So that was one tool. This is another tool. This is another tool, and this was another tool. So there's like 4 steps here, 4 things that I needed to do this, and it was costing a lot of money. It was a pretty big headache, and it wasn't very fluid. Okay, and guess what, guys? What I'm showing you right now, take a screenshot of this, because nobody shares this information with you. Nobody shares with you how to profit from the event launch blueprint. This is what I do even before I take my coaching students in, okay? I want you to understand that EasyWebinar does this, but I want you to get this knowledge even before becoming, say, a LaunchStream member, a coaching member. You see, LaunchStream is my coaching program where I go through in detail all 4 steps of the event launch blueprint, which I call LaunchStream, but I do it with you in mind in particular, and it's a group training, hugely powerful. And I show you exactly how to do each step. We talk about when to do the broadcast, how to do it. It's just really powerful stuff. And I'm going to be opening up that new session is going to be happening. I think in about 2 weeks. I'll be opening up the shopping cart and then closing it down again. I will be putting out a discount out there for a little bit. But the first session was amazing. We had so many people that were just they loved it. As I said, Lauren was in it, and I'll share with you some of those. So you can see the page and you can kind of learn what it is and also what some other people said about it. So let me push on though. So did you take a screenshot? I hope you did. You see, all 4 of those steps took big hurdles to jump over until we spent 3 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars on development, seriously, hundreds of thousands of dollars on development to create EasyWebinar, okay? So EasyWebinar is an all-in-one webinar event suite that does both live and automated events and every event in between, okay? It does the broadcast, it does the timed replay, okay? You can do all of these with EasyWebinar. That's the brilliant thing about it. Okay? Other software on the market, it just is a live event platform. Other software, it's just an automated event platform. Our software is the combination, the unique combination of both automated and live for you to do some amazing, amazing things, okay? And here's the cool thing. Our software, we've been on the marketplace for long enough to know how to do both of these effectively, okay? This same event that you're coming to, this was just yesterday an automated webinar, but I used the same page. I can switch out the registration times and schedules dynamically and make it a live event. See how powerful that is? I can create one event and do it and make it work for me over and over again. I didn't have to worry about sending you guys email notifications. You got the notifications yourself. I didn't have to do all that. EasyWebinar did it for me. That's the beauty of it. All right, let's keep going. So the evolution of EasyWebinar was as follows. GoToWebinar started in '99. EasyWebinar became a live-streamed, pre-recorded video at the end of 2011, the beginning of 2012. Okay, that's when we did automated events. But then Google Hangouts came on the scene, and that's when we decided, you know what, we're going to change the world here. Change the world. Well, I wanted to definitely change something. I was like, you know what, this is going to change things big time, because now our software can do live events using and leveraging the power of Google Hangouts on Air, and that's when in 2013, beginning of 2013, we created all 4 steps of the event launch blueprint for doing both live events, pre-recorded rebroadcast events, replays, and then, of course, automated evergreen events. You see, EasyWebinar is a full event registration and webinar funnel. So it means that it creates pages that you would typically get from a webinar funnel automatically. All right, these pages are created inside your EasyWebinar dashboard and published into your WordPress site. This is what you guys came to, and this is what the event looks like. You are in an EasyWebinar event right now. And if you want to look at the complexity of it, This is how it works. You come to a registration page. You then come to a thank you page, and at that same time, the email notification goes out. From the thank you page, you get a clickable link that brings you into the countdown page prior to the event starting. At the same time, the email notification sends you also to this countdown page, and as soon as this reaches zeros all the way across, you come into the event itself. And that's pretty much what you did today. The cool thing is the replay works in the same way. It'll send out an email saying, hey, this is the replay, and you'll be brought into the event, but now the event will have different things in it, such as a scrub bar that you can go fast forward and rewind and things like that. So it gives you more flexibility there. But EasyWebinar's live event capability is powered by Google Hangouts and YouTube Live combined. That's how we do the live events, okay? Maybe in the future we'll have a different live stream application or the ability to do other live stream applications such as Wowza and things like that. At the moment, I personally love using Google Hangouts and YouTube Live because I have the flexibility of doing this that you're seeing right now, which is screen share, and I can share my own me in front of the camera. I can bring up to 10 people into a room. With YouTube Live, I can do so many things. I can have multiple cameras. I can bring in videos. I can transition to different things. I mean, there's just so many opportunities with it. I can set the event to private so no one sees it except the people in the EasyWebinar page itself. As I say, I just did this spiel, so you can show yourself in front of the camera, as I mentioned. This is what it would look like inside EasyWebinar. You can share your screen. You're seeing this right now. And here's the biggest part of this. It tracks all your data. That's the good news. You see, I know everybody who is watching this event right now, okay? You are in my dashboard. I can tell what questions you ask. I can tell how long you stay. So just be aware of that. If you leave early, I'll know. I already know. It's already starting to track it. In fact, I could go into my dashboard right now and check to see who's watching and who's not. Watch this. Oh, this is good. Let me see. Let me go in. I'm kind of excited to check this out. I'll let this. So I have Jane is watching all the way through. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate it. She's full on watching. Everybody is pretty much watching. Full amount. Pete Gregory is here. Ryan Bevers is here. John Bolton is watching. Victoria is watching. This is what our software does, guys. It allows. It just works almost the same way as GoToWebinar, but it gives you more information than GoToWebinar. Lisa is watching, and I think Lisa asked a question. Oh, yep, she has a couple questions. That's the other thing the software can do. It can tell you what kind of questions, and I'll show you this. This is some of the cool stuff. That inside EasyWebinar, it adds all these questions in, so that's how I know. So her question was, my question is so basic that it probably is best for another time and place, but I'm going to beta a smaller group coaching program, and I'm wondering if I can use Google Hangouts on air for private programs. I've got EasyWebinar installed on my website and just joined online broadcasts. Is there a chance this is being recorded? And if so, I want to take notes, but my sitter couldn't make it tonight. Jane, no. Oh, sorry, Lisa, no problem at all, of course. And yes. That's how I did my first launch stream bootcamp, was using EasyWebinar and YouTube Live to do private events just with my members. They'd come into the membership, they'd come into the group, we'd all be chatting in there in the conference room of Google Hangouts, but it would be private because I would set it using YouTube Live and unlist it. So it's completely unlisted, it's completely private, and then I would stream it into a private EasyWebinar page so that anyone else can watch it that's paid for the program. Do you see the beauty of this? You don't need a fancy membership platform if you are doing some of this stuff. So, and that's one of the ways you can profit, just simply creating an event where you're selling a boot camp, something in advance. You know, a boot camp is when you sell a product that you haven't necessarily created yet. It's almost like a live training. That's what Launch Stream is. It's a boot camp style training. It's live training. That's why it has a pretty high price tag, because it's one-on-one group coaching and one-on-one coaching that I perform with people. So anyway, yeah, as I mentioned, I can tell what people are doing, who's watching, and so on and so forth. The only person I show who's already maybe left, who's watched 70% of what we've done thus far, is Jorge F. Okay, Jorge, I've got your number. I'm watching you. And that's the cool thing, guys. I could check. I could see who's watching and who's not. So if you leave, I know, which puts a lot of pressure on you, doesn't it? So if you have to leave, say, Casey, I have to leave. Please don't look into my account and think anything of it. Don't worry, I'm not going to. Don't worry, I'm not going to. I'm not going to think anything of it. Anyway, tracking the data, as you can clearly see, is huge because you can track your engagement. You know who your most engaged viewers are. This is what I'm tracking, guys. I can see, all the people that are registered, and I can see who's watching. So most of these right now inside EasyWebinar dashboard, these are saying 100 because I can see that you guys are actually watching. And one of the cool things, and this is what's completely different from our software than any other software out there, and if you're not an EasyWebinar customer, this is why you should be. And it doesn't matter if we have a sale or not. It doesn't matter if we are, changing our pricing around. I'm not going to use false scarcity here. This is just a good product to have if you're doing events, okay? So here's the deal. You can do one-time events or you can do recurring events. You can go from a one-time event to recurring event. And the cool thing is, that's what this page was. When you registered for this, you noticed that there was only a name and email field, right? Well, the cool thing is I can change that around to where it's not just a one-time event, but then now it's automated. So you're going to see choose your date, choose your time, put your name and email in. And it can be in my attendee's own time zone or my time zone. That's the power of it. And while we're on the topic of telling you why EasyWebinar is so awesomely cool, it is search engine optimized to a hilt, okay, to the T. You can put meta details in here, and your events can get found in Google. And don't worry, your live page events won't get found. Everything is redirected to your registration page, so your registration page gets found. And as I mentioned, the advanced scheduling for live, rebroadcast, replays, and automated webinars. See, here's an example right here. You can see this. This has 1, 2, 3, 4 fields, but you'd probably notice when you came to this page, there was only 2 fields right here. Well, this is dynamic. This changes dynamically for you, depending on what kind of event you want to do. No other software does this. Sorry if I yelled, but it's true. No other software does this. The templates are responsive and editable in various languages. We have a built-in email notification and autoresponder integration. Now we have SendGrid integration, which is awesome. So SendGrid will host the emails that go out from EasyWebinar. You just set up a SendGrid account, and boom, you're good to go. Okay, and that works really effectively. We have timed CTA, call to action offers, questions, and scarcity options. Chat box integration, several of those. Not just this question box that puts the information inside EasyWebinar, but you can use, as I said, Livefire, Chatroll, Chatwing, Facebook, Twitter. Social share incentive on the thank you page, which you probably noticed you had to share news and it unlocked a free gift. Same site webinar cloning, cross website cloning. Awesome Facebook community and customer service, which is true. We have over 1,000 members in the Facebook group, and it's growing all the time. And you can add third-party pixels and conversion tracking to your webinar events so you can track your automated traffic, say, coming from Facebook. And more about EasyWebinar is that we integrate with lead pages for live events using their front-end pages, Optimized Press 2 also doing this, Contest Domination for live and automated events using their front-end pages, InstaBuilder, Wishlist member software adding people to a membership site upon registering for an event, and most autoresponders, Infusionsoft, MailChimp, Constant Contact, Aweber, Ontraport, GetResponse, and more. Trust me, you can add your HTML into our system and it should work. And we're the only software that can do all, as I said, 4 steps of the event launch blueprint with one simple-to-use system. And here's one other cool thing: if you have ever used the traditional method of launching a product, such as this, where you set up a pre-launch, where you have training, and then you jump into your launch, right? Well, I've done this before, and it's very effective. I mentioned this earlier. The product, Jeff Walker's product launch blueprint product launch formula. But the nice thing is that the event launch blueprint can either be used in place of it or alongside it. And you probably have seen this, where people have done these live stream events while they're also launching a product, correct? Well, you can do that with EasyWebinar. And here's a little bit of my case study to leave you with, and we're going to come on to the questions very soon here. The most recent use of this funnel was used in my promotion of Traffic Geyser 2.0. Here's Mike Koenigs. I brought him into an EasyWebinar event, And that funnel pretty much surprised my competitors and Mike as well, and Ed Rush. Okay, you might know these two. Mike Koenig is one of the biggest marketers out there. He has created several amazing products. He does million-dollar launches all the time. And Ed's email to me just recently was, hey, Casey, it's Ed Rush. I'm assuming you remember me, but if not, I was the one who ran Mike Koenig's Traffic Geyser launch last month. I'm reaching out because, frankly, I was impressed and maybe even surprised by your performance in Traffic Geyser 2.0. Since I'm working on another launch, I figured I would take the time to invite you to it. Well, here's what actually happened with that. I did their new launch. It was Pam Hendrickson's launch, and I was, I think, 5th or 6th on the leaderboard. Right next to, and maybe I'll share this. I'll share a screenshot of this if I share my screen. Right next to Jordan Belfort. I think I actually maybe beat out Jordan Belfort. You guys know who Jordan Belfort is, right? He is the Wolf of Wall Street. I don't have that on me right now, but it is a screenshot on my desktop. I can maybe show it. But here's me right here for the Traffic Geyser 2.0. And I came into that promotion 3 days before it ended. And I still did that. I really started out, doing this type of stuff last year. So this event actually did, I think, about 40 grand, but only in the first month alone, because it's a recurring product. So it started paying out even more. And I'm not saying that to brag. Please understand that. I'm just saying that because I use this system to do it. Okay? I don't have a huge, enormous list. Okay? You probably can tell. I mean, we have a total, I think, of how many people are watching this event right now? Maybe 50 right at the moment? So just be aware that you don't have to have an enormous community to be doing this. And as soon as you realize that, you realize it's like looking behind the curtain of the Wizard of Oz, because you think these gurus are doing huge numbers and just, crazy stuff. But, once you pull the curtain aside, it's a different story. And I'm not here to hide anything from you. I'm not here to hype anything for you. I just want you to start using this type of system, this software, to start doing this for yourself. Because once you do, you'll start seeing the results. So anyway, as I said, I started doing this last year, and and here are some results. I did this for one of the biggest launches last year. I was 8th in line for that, beating out Brendan Bouchard, as you can see right here, right? Brendan Bouchard right here, but also Brendan Bouchard right here. And, I'm showing you my results, but let me tell you about some of our customers, some of the people that use EasyWebinar for their clients, for other things. So you maybe have seen these folks on the home page of EasyWebinar. This is Brandy Sweezy, and this is Kim Beasley, Sonia Ramsey. Everybody has an E at the end of their name. It's crazy, right? And Sean Tierney, the E's. Brandy uses EasyWebinar to do live events using the power of Google Hangouts. So does Kim, but she also uses it to do automated events as well. Sonia is doing a book launch, and she's one of our launch stream members. She just did her book and now is a bestseller on Amazon, and she's launching using the system that we talked about in LaunchStream. And I can share a video with that. If there are people interested in LaunchStream, the coaching program, it's going to be starting at the end of this month, as I said, and there are videos that these folks have done, and it was such a wonderful experience to work with them hands-on, especially because I love go-getters. I love people that have really, they know what they're doing. They have a strong idea of what their business is, and they're making it happen. So that's my thing. Let me just make sure you guys can hear me okay. Yep, great. And then Sean came through the Evergreen event, and he was like, oh, this is so cool, because it started 20 minutes in, and he was brought in 20 minutes in. That's what the software does. Here's Bo. He uses this system to do what is known as a summit, because you can use our software, EasyWebinar, to do a summit, right? He generated $200,000 in a 3-day event doing a summit. That's hugely powerful. And I got a lot more of these here, and I probably have some of you watching right now that are currently EasyWebinar customers, so I won't bore you with all these. In fact, you can, earlier I had the option of you could download this PDF, so you could see all the questions coming through, what people have said, and I welcome you to do that. I also gave out earlier in this event the PDF for the process, EasyWebinar process PDF, so you could see how to set up your events, kind of A to Z, and Luis Rivera set that up. He is one of our producers for the Producers Corner, and I'm going to come on to that too, by the way. So I won't bore you with this, but I will say this person said, I've tried Stealth, Webinar Jam, EBS, and this is by far, I will say it again, by far the best. Your support is awesome. The community rocks. I love how easy it is, and when I have a problem, it's answered. Congrats, Casey. I really don't have much else I need to share. I mean, that's pretty much it. Peter saying, very excited, my first webinar went great. You know, we have a case study that actually happened just, I think about a couple weeks ago. I put out a blog post all about one of our members, what is his, I can't believe I'm actually drawing a blank. Can you believe it? It is, I'll get this right. Caruso, what is his? Oh, Jason Caruso. God, sorry, Jason. If you're watching this, I really apologize for having a brain fart and forgetting your name. But Jason Caruso, I posted a video about this. He did 12,000 from his first event, from the one event that he did with EasyWebinar, and then he continued to profit from that event. And there's a blog post at CaseyZemanOnline.com all about it. Okay, if you want to see it, there's a blog post all about it. And these are just more stories, and I won't bore you with this, but I will say this: before you do rush off to go find EasyWebinar for yourself, wait. For a limited time, I'm going to be offering EasyWebinar for a $100 discount, which it comes if you go to the sales page, it already shows the discount. But I'm also going to be rolling in these bonuses: the new YouTube series, the webinar presentation image bundle, power of LinkedIn, how to drive traffic with Twitter. Okay, these are some bonuses that I'm going to be rolling in when you pick it up right now. There's a Get Access Now button that you should see. If you come through, you get these bonuses along with EasyWebinar right now. Okay, and these are not fluffy bonuses. These are quality bonuses. This is 3 hours of me showing you how to become a YouTube partner, how to set up your live stream, you know, so you can stream out more than 15 minutes, and how to add clickable links in your videos. The webinar presentation, this is 250 high-resolution images that you can use in your presentations. Really great stuff. Power of LinkedIn by expert Los Silva. Los is killing it. This guy is huge as a kind of a online business architect, and he used LinkedIn to get a lot of clients. And then Miss Social Media herself, Kate Buck, she drives traffic with Twitter, and we have that as well. And here's a fast action bonus that you can get right now, and we charge for this, by the way, normally. How to profit with webinars event replay. Okay, this is valued at $300. If you come in now, you get that. So the total with everything, EasyWebinar that you can do everything with, plus the bonuses that I mentioned, it's about $1,900 worth of value. And EasyWebinar's price will be going up. Yes, it will be going up. In fact, we're changing our shopping cart right now. We're adding the new pricing program in, and it's going to be going up to a yearly price soon. And we're going to be rolling out the 4.0 pretty soon, which I'm pretty excited about to share with you. But on this webinar right now, you can get all of the additional bonuses and the $100 discount on either the unlimited site license or the 10-site license for only $297 for the 10-site license or $397 for the unlimited site license. And these are one-time payments, not monthly, not yearly, but one time. And these prices are going to be going up because we have the 4.0 that we're rolling out. All right? Okay, so to get access right now, including the fast action bonuses, which is only available when you take action during this event, and with the unlimited site license, go to easywebinar.com/pricing. But you don't even have to do that. Just click that Get Access Now button below, and it should bring you directly into the pricing page where you can purchase EasyWebinar, and I'll send you the bonuses. This program isn't right for everyone. In fact, if you are someone who doesn't have an existing business or idea for a business, this program probably might not necessarily be right for you. But if you, or if you don't have a website such as a WordPress site, then this product might not be right for you. However, if you are someone who has created webinars or live stream events before, or has a product or service to sell, then EasyWebinar can give you dramatic results, okay? This process has brought in literally tens of thousands of dollars every month to me and my affiliates. So if you're ready, get started with EasyWebinar and start creating your event launch blueprint today for only $297 for the 10-site license and $397 for the unlimited site license, okay? So you can either click the link below or go to easywebinar.com/pricing. Those are the options that you have for this. Now, when you do come through, I just will quickly tell you this, and then we're going to jump into the live Q&A. I'm going to go in and answer all the questions. When you do choose to come through, you then get an additional option of training, okay? We have 2 training options as well. So once you decide on your license in your back office, you get the training on how to use EasyWebinar plugin for no additional cost, okay? We have training that shows you how to use the software. But for those diehards who want training on the full traffic and conversion system, we have these 2 programs. Please be aware, this is different than online broadcasts, and it's different than Launch Stream, the coaching program. Okay, this is my vid traffic conversion program, which teaches how to leverage YouTube, Google+, and then gives you kind of a strategy for using Google Hangouts, but it doesn't teach you how to use like step-by-step presenting with Google Hangouts. That's what online broadcast does. But this program will give you how to leverage YouTube, Google Hangouts, Google+, and webinars. Resources, this is probably the biggest factor. That gives you awesome resources that you can use. We'll talk about monthly webinars and training that we'll do from here. I have archived high-level webinars that are in here that my mastermind students and I have recorded. Case studies. And here's the deal. This one goes for $37 a month for $4.95 trial, and it's the master program, okay? So if you decide on it, you get it for $4.95, and then it becomes $37 a month. Now, there is also an elite program, which is $67 a month, and the reason it's that is because we will host your videos for you. What that simply means is you can upload your event videos into our system, and if you want us to host them for you, we certainly will. You also get priority tech support and event partial event setup, okay? Now, this is not to take the place of Producer's Corner, all right? The video hosting is most of the reason why it's $67 a month, okay? Plus, you get access to all of this training as well, all right? But if you want us to do something super custom, really dive in there and produce your events, that's what Producer's Corner is all about, and I'm going to come on to that. So this is what the vid traffic conversion system looks like when you come through. It's a really, really nice membership area where you just have a lot of resources. So again, from me and the rest of the gang here at EasyWebinar, I can't wait to see you on the inside. And of course, we do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. And you should also know something, that our 30-day money-back guarantee, we want people that are serious about doing this stuff, okay? Here's the deal. If you can't get your webinar up using EasyWebinar, we want to come in and do it for you, all right? If after we try to put up your online event for you and we can't get it to work, you're going to get a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's what we're going to do, okay? If you can't get EasyWebinar to work yourself, or if we are not able to get it to work and effectively work for you, then we have a 30-day money-back guarantee that you could take advantage of, all right? So come on through at easywebinar.com/pricing, or just click that button below. Okay, so that is it with the presentation. I'm going to actually now come in, share my screen, and then I want to talk to you about those 3 programs that I have coming up and answer any questions that you may have. And I want to end in about 15 minutes, okay? I want to end this entire thing in about 15 minutes or so, all right? All right, so let me go back in. And so here I am. Do you see me now? You should be able to see me. I'm back. So let me go in and see if there are any questions at all. And if you don't see me, please do let me know. I hope you can see me. And let me just go in and check the questions. There's my mouse. Okay. Here we go. Let's pop in some of these questions. So, oh my goodness, we have quite a few. Boy, oh boy. Okay. Cheryl said, yes, I would like to come into the room. Oh, sorry. Well, actually, I could probably do that. Let me see how many people we have here that are asking this. Jay wanted to come into the room. Yes, can see the presentation. Okay, that's what Anchor said. Yes, you are visible. That's what Amanda said. And I'm looking down here because this is where my email is. So this is where the chat is. But I'll move it up here so you can see my pretty face. Not that pretty. Jane is saying yes. She'd like to probably also come in as well. Yep. And now Lisa is saying signing off. Thanks. Looking forward to watching the recording. Thanks, Lisa, for coming. David is saying cost for launch stream. That's a very good question, David. I appreciate your you asking. So the first time we did it, it was for $779, okay? And that was a discount because it was the first session. And I think this next session will be more. Right now, if you were to come into the launch stream right now, it's $1,500. But I'm going to be offering a dramatic discount coming up very soon here to come into launch stream, which gives you not only group coaching but private one-on-one coaching as well, and gets you prepared for your launch. If you're going to be doing a launch next month or something, this gets you prepared for it. Okay, and that will not be $779, but it won't be $1,500 either, and that's the best I can do and tell you right now before I open it up. Okay, so just be aware of that. I probably will also have a split pay option just because I did that last time as well. Okay, so I'm just telling you exactly what's going to be happening. This is a live training that happens. This is not false scarcity. There's nothing like that happening. We are only taking a handful of people because it is group coaching and one-on-one coaching. So I have to be, I'm actually going to be doing one-on-one coaching with you, and I have to value my time and the group's time when I do that. So hope that answers that question, David. How long do we have to come through to take advantage of this deal? To get the bonuses, you have to come through right now to get the bonuses. So Wade is saying, I want to come into the room. How do I get the bonuses if I'm already an EasyWebinar customer? No, you don't have to buy EasyWebinar again, Wade. Don't worry. This is what happens when I talk too much. My voice starts going. Okay, two questions. Does EasyWebinar allow a user to conduct hybrid webinars? Yes. To come onto a live event for the last 15 minutes after a 45-minute pre-recorded video. Also, 33% off of $497 is $333. Is that discount $100 or it's $100 off? If I said 33%, I don't know why I said 33%. It's $100 off. It's normally $497. It's $397 right now. So I apologize if I said if 333 is not completely accurate. I don't know if I can't believe I actually have 333 in there. So yeah, sorry about that. And if is that what it says on the sales page? If it does, I'll switch it around. It is $100 off the price. But yes, it does hybrid events. You can start automated, okay, and then I could do it for this one. If let's say this was an automated webinar and it was going to be performing and streaming for an hour and a half. At the end of the hour and a half, I could have it then automatically do a redirect into a live Q&A room that you would be sitting in waiting for your consumers and customers to come through. Works really well. You can also do it the opposite way, where you start live and go automated as well, if you wanted to. And there are some cool things you could do with YouTube Live where that makes it very, very easy and fun. So just be aware of that there are some cool, there are definitely, yes, to answer your question, you can do that. Okay, Cheryl is saying, do you have a WordPress site to use this? Do you have to have a WordPress site to use this? Yes, unfortunately you have to have a WordPress site to use it. WordPress sites, they don't cost a lot. You should be using a WordPress site if you are someone who's taking this business seriously. You should have a WordPress.org, not necessarily a Weebly site. Yes, Weebly looks good, but when you start getting traffic to your site, maybe you're doing content marketing, you're definitely going to want to have WordPress.org where it hosts decently so people can come and watch the events or watch anything that you might be doing. Okay, so yes, I really stress that you should have a WordPress.org site. And if you guys are interested in having us help you set that stuff up, I'm not leaving you empty-handed here. We have, Producer's Corner. We'll help you set up your events, yes, but we'll also help you set up your WordPress site too. And then, LaunchStream is the coaching program, and then of course, as I already mentioned, online broadcasts is the training that shows you how to use the presenter tools of Google Hangouts and YouTube Live. Okay, so and I'll show you that in a bit here. David says, sounds good. Thanks, Casey. No problem, David. So anyway, let me quickly share my screen so you can see what the different programs are that we have. Okay. All right. So let me just go in and grab up these. Launchstream.net. If you are interested in signing up for LaunchStream, the coaching program, go to launchstream.net. Okay, that's what you would go to. Go to launchstream.net. Okay, now let me open this up. EasyWebinar.com, producers, and again, ask any questions that you might have right now. Producers Corner, and then of course the final is online broadcast. And some of you are already members, and I know this because many of you have already come through. So thank you for coming through, and I'm glad you're members. I'm excited to work with you on all these different with all these different packages. So let me go in and do desktop 1. Okay, and start sharing my screen. Okay, so you should see my screen right now. Yeah. This is online broadcasts. This is where I teach you how to use the power of Google Hangouts and YouTube Live so that you can become an expert broadcaster. Okay. This will allow you to create your own web show. So come on through online broadcasts if you're interested in learning about that. Producers Corner, this is Producers Corner right here. We will actually hold your hand and help you set up your own event, okay? Whether it's a live event, whether it's an automated event, we will come in, professional help, technical help, live production, of your event, training on the platform. We'll actually show you how to, we'll hold your hand for rehearsal sessions so that you can be the best you can be when you're doing your presentations, okay? Oftentimes, I would suggest if you're thinking about doing this, go through my coaching program, LaunchStream, to really kind of understand how to launch using this system, but then use our Producer Corner instead of paying out, your developers or paying out, your outsourcers who don't really know how to set up an EasyWebinar event. That's one of the things we've noticed is that some people will go through and spend a ton of money on people, and it will just have a bad situation occur. Like for instance, Susan Brady went through this terrible situation where she paid someone thousands of dollars to do an online event for her, to kind of help get this stuff set up. They didn't even know simply how to take a video and upload it to YouTube. Like they couldn't figure out how to take a video from Camtasia or ScreenFlow and put it in to YouTube or upload it to Amazon. And so she was just so frustrated. She came to me voicing her frustration. And I said, listen, let's do our Producer's Corner. We'll set you up with a producer. They'll set up the technical stuff. They'll help you with the live event, and you'll be good to go. And this is what she said. Thank you again for all your help, Lewis, because Lewis was the one that produced the event. I woke up Thursday morning with a sense of calm, like I'd finally come up for air, and it had been a while since I felt that way. Enjoy your Saturday. I would love to keep working with you, and we'll certainly keep in touch. Blessings, my friend, Susan. So Susan went through, and she did one of our packages, and she didn't have to waste time with people that don't know what they're doing. So if you are starting to pay someone to set up your events, stop now and come to us directly because we know how to do this. I'm just being extremely blunt with you. From the technical to the production of the actual events themselves, the live events, the moderator, having a moderator come in, that's what we can do for you. All right, so we can make sure that your events are successful. These are the different packages that we have here. We have a 5-hour producer package, a 10-hour, a 20-hour, okay, 25, 30, and then 40. Okay, so here's some good news. If you don't have EasyWebinar right now and you want to take advantage of the Producer's Corner, if you grab 25 hours or more EasyWebinar is automatically rolled into the price. You get the unlimited site license and any upgrades to the future of EasyWebinar. Okay, that simply means that once we roll out our 4.0, which has even newer templates and cooler stuff, and once we go full SaaS, where we're going to host your events for you, you don't have to pay any additional price. Okay, not only do we cover you and give you our hours, okay, this is 25 hours of setup. Okay, this could be over a period of time too. This doesn't have to be in the first month. It can be over a period of 2 months, however you want to roll it out. But we will also roll in EasyWebinar for you, and that goes for all these right here, these packages. Okay, just so you're aware. And if you want more information on that, go to easywebinar.com/producers corner. easywebinar.com/producers corner to do that. Okay? And then, finally, if you want to sign up for the coaching program that we have called LaunchStream, go to launchstream.net and sign up and get on the list. So you click on here, you get on the list, and then you will get notified as soon as I open the enrollment up. Okay? And the enrollment, just so you know, if you're on this list, you will get a discount, and I will have a split pay option for you. Okay? All right. So I want to bring, if there are a few of you here still, I'm going to invite you in, if you're still here, so that you can join me. All right? So let me just go back and share me. Let me go into getting this out to you guys. So hope everybody is good. And again, as I said, we're going to be shutting this down pretty soon here. So David, where do we learn that hybrid trick? David. Well, you learn it you learn it in LaunchStream. I teach it in LaunchStream. And within EasyWebinar, your imagination can run free. There are so many cool things you could do inside EasyWebinar. It's ridiculous. But inside online broadcasts, I show you how to go and use YouTube Live and Wirecast to start with live and go automated. Okay, or automated and go live. You know, with YouTube Live, you could do it. It's really kind of cool. But with our software, without using YouTube Live, with just using Google Hangouts for the live event, you would redirect someone into a live Q&A after your automated event is over. That's how that works, David. It's pretty simple, actually. But I teach about it. Hi, for the newbie, how would you publicize or market your first event without having a list? Oh, Jarrett, that's a great question. And before I jump in, I want to invite some of you guys into the room with me. So let me go back through here and see who asked to come through. So if you're interested in coming through, go ahead and put that in. Yes, I see that Jane said something, so I'll pass this out to you, Jane, so you can kind of get that. That's coming to you now. Amanda, and let's see, Anchor, I think you had asked if you could come in, so let me pop that in so you can join me in the room. And let's see, who else? If I miss some of you, I apologize. If I can't get to all of you coming into the room, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. Jay, let me get you in here, Jay. Okay, and now let me go up to the top here. David. Yep. Okay. Okay. Thank you, David. By the way, for clearing that up. Yeah, I will. I'll get that fixed. And let me see. Damon Sweeney, how are you, sir? It's good to see you. As an owner of EasyWebinar, I'm still on with that, right? Yes. These are add-on programs. Yes. That's right, Damon. Yes. But good to see you here, man. Wade. Oh, okay. Here, let me. Here, Wade, if you'd like to come in the room. Wade is saying, what's the difference between online broadcast and LaunchStream coaching? The difference between the two is online broadcast is pre-recorded. It's these are already created videos from Chris Farrell and myself. It's not a coaching program. And here's the deal. If you're on this event right now and you want to get into online broadcast, the prices right now is at $497, okay? We sold it for $197. I was doing a deal for it. But if you're on this event and you are currently an EasyWebinar customer and you want to get in on online broadcast, send me an email and I will do online broadcast for $197. Send me an email and I'll do it for the $197. I'll discount you from $497 to $197 if you wanted to come on through. Now, LaunchStream is different. LaunchStream, Wade, is a coaching program. This is one-on-one coaching. This is where I take you through the 4 steps of the event launch blueprint that I showed you in my presentation. Okay, I show you exactly how to do all 4 steps. This is really advanced. And when I say advanced, I mean that it's strategic. Okay, online broadcast is mostly about the technical, but LaunchStream is the strategy. LaunchStream is let's show how to do the marketing strategy of this stuff. Okay, that's what LaunchStream is all about. It kind of gets you. We talk about how to communicate your message to your list. We talk about how to present your video out there to make sure you get the most sales you could possibly get. Good questions that came from was it Cheryl? Someone had a really great question about what do you do, and I think it was actually no, it was I think it was Jared, right? Had a question about what do you do, Casey, if you don't have what if you do if you don't have a list? How do you get people to your events? Well, here's the deal. This is what's really, really cool. Oh, okay. The other Jane has to come in. Sorry, Jane Gardner. Right, Jane Gardner is in many of our programs. To answer your question, I think it was Jarrett, right? What I will oftentimes do is I will do content marketing to get my message out there. I'll use YouTube, okay, and Google Hangouts. Here's the cool thing, and this is what I teach in online broadcast, is how you can use Google Hangouts to get traffic into your marketing funnel, to get traffic, and then use webinars to sell to that traffic, okay? So first you get people in, you could use the power of Google Hangouts because Google Hangouts are great for getting ranking inside YouTube and inside Google as well. But then, so that's content marketing. That's where you use content marketing almost like creating a TV show. And that's where online broadcasts can help you if you want to know more about how to get traffic into your program. Online broadcasts could be the program for you, okay? All right? That's onlinebroadcasts.com. But if you want to get online broadcasts at the discount, I will get you that. You have to send me an email though. Just put in the chat box below, Casey, yes, I'd like to get online broadcasts at the discount for $197. Okay, that will show you how to use Google Hangouts, YouTube Live to first get traffic through content marketing. Okay, then here's the cool part. I use Facebook, I use paid traffic as well. So I use Facebook, and every single day I have people signing up to my automated webinars. So I take automated traffic using Facebook ads, and I send them into an automated webinar that is either streamed out at one time, streamed out in multiple times. Okay, and you could do that. You don't have to have a list in order to do that, and you could do it right away for as much as $5 per day. You could be driving traffic into your webinar pages. I use Facebook ads to get people. You probably have seen my Facebook ads. If you're on Facebook, I have retargeting all over the place. Not only do I send traffic to EasyWebinar.com, I then retarget all those visitors who go to EasyWebinar.com so that they now get information on my events, so they register for my future events. So if they haven't become a lead yet, they will eventually, because they've clicked on EasyWebinar and now I remarket to them. And that's what I do. If you're a newcomer and you want to know how to do that, that's what I do, and I can get you information on that. I probably will do an event all about Facebook traffic at some point, how I do it. I've just recently hired a new Facebook guy who's able to kind of tweak some things. I've been spending about $3,000 plus a month on Facebook ads, and I'm looking to lower that price and amp up my conversion. So I've actually had pretty decent success in looking at this now, I can show you that I've had about probably 25,000 clicks in the last month from Facebook going into EasyWebinar, the page, the website. So that's some of the stuff that is really good for, if you don't have a list yet and you want to build it up, get them to a webinar. That's kind of a good way to do it. Okay, so and that was Jarrett, yeah? Yes, Jarrett. Okay, is anybody on here with me right now? Let me see. Do we have anybody who came into the event? Doesn't look like it. Okay, and Jarrett, I will send that off to you as well. But you know what? I think we're closing down anyway. Wade just said, where can I get the Spiritual Gangster t-shirt? How much for a Casey Zeman signed one? Wade, these are awesome shirts, yes. I got this actually at a yoga festival in Aspen, Colorado with my wife. Spiritual Gangster is a brand, and I just love this shirt. I'm not really like super hoity-toity spiritual guy, but I love this shirt. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like it reminds me of that time when I was in Aspen doing yoga, just being heart central, just doing things that were healthy and various things like that. So I like to wear it because it inspires me. But hey, man, I could definitely point you in the right direction to get one of your own if you're interested. Let me know, man. And I don't know if you want me to sign it, but maybe I'll just stamp it with like a handprint or something. Okay, so I just want to thank some of you who did come in. Jay, thank you for coming in. I saw that you were now an EasyWebinar customer. Peter Gregory, thank you so much for coming in. Let's see, and we have a few others who came in. Let's see here. David is asking, thanks, Casey. Gotta go. Great stuff. Thanks, David, so much. Okay. Who else came in? Adelie Sutton, thank you for coming in. Yep. Peter Gregory. Sorry, I'm just calling out all the people. Ryan Walsh, thank you. Todd Royer, thank you. Okay. We have more coming through the door, and again, if you want to take advantage of these bonuses, come on through right now to get EasyWebinar, and you will get the bonuses available as well. Anchor is saying, I want one of those shirts too. Virtual high five, buddy. Yes, I will get you a shirt as well. Again, remember, if you want to get on the launchstream.net to take advantage, to come into our next coaching program. Again, this is coaching where you and I will actually get on a one-on-one coaching. We have I think 2 30-minute sessions is what I'm going to roll in, which is pretty crazy, and it's for an awesome price. And plus, you also get the group coaching as well. So it's going to be good stuff. If you are doing a launch, seriously, you're going to love this. I have everybody who was in our program, everyone, they spoke so amazing about it. I spoke so highly of it, and it was just great. It was just a great atmosphere, and we just wanted to make sure we get the right people in there. Just people that are, they have their business. Maybe they're looking to launch a book launch, any type of launch where you want to use also live events and automated events and rebroadcasts and things like that to get in. Something that I didn't mention to Jarrett. Another thing is that if you don't have a list, you can partner up with joint venture partners and promote your webinar to their list, okay? If you have a good offer, oftentimes the good offer trumps everything. Even if you don't have a list, if you have a good offer, a good product, they'll take it, okay? Just show them the product, be very transparent about what you have, and then give them a cut of it, give them 50% or something, Like what we do. EasyWebinar, we have an affiliate program where we give 40% on those who share news of EasyWebinar. And so it's pretty cool stuff. And we nurture our affiliates, and they get paid monthly all the time. So it's good stuff. Anchor is saying, great presentation, Casey. Keep on rocking. Thank you, Anchor, so much. Jared is saying, thanks. Love the T-shirt as well. No problem, buddy. Again, If you want online broadcasts at the discount, right now it says $4.97 in there, but I will give it to you for $1.97. Just send me an email, and I don't know if I've seen. I'll have to go back through and check these emails, check these comments that are coming through, and see if there's anybody who's asked about it. So again, I think I'm going to end the broadcast. We're about 10 minutes over than what I wanted to do. About an hour and 40 minutes is I think pretty decent here. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to stay on this page, ask your question, and if you haven't come through EasyWebinar yet, go ahead. You know, if you send me an email, chances are for today I will still give you those bonuses if you haven't already come through. But really, literally, let's try to keep it for today, just to respect everybody's time. So. Oh, Lauren's back. You were awesome. I loved it. I was able to listen by phone. You listen by phone? Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, so that's the other thing. EasyWebinar is fully responsive, so you can watch it on the phone live. You always deliver valuable information in the programs as well. Lauren was one of our launch stream members, so thank you, Lauren, so much. Lauren's her story is really touching, and if you guys become EasyWebinar customers, you go into our Facebook group, you meet everybody in there. We have over 1,000, I think over 1,100 people now, and you can talk to other members. You know, we're pushing almost about 3,000 members right now that are EasyWebinar customers, and a good portion of them are in the group. We want to try to get as many people in there as we can, but you know, it's always kind of, you know, we want to tell them this is a community. We're more of a community than anything else. This is a community that wants to help you learn this stuff, okay? So when you come in, you kind of get a hold of the community. If you have any questions or problems, our customer service is spot on. We will not get back with you within 24 hours. We generally get back with you within about 2 hours, okay? So or less. So you know, if you're on the fence and you know been not sure about coming in, you know, maybe there are just a few things that might influence you more about it. Just know that EasyWebinar pricing is going to go up, and that you get a community, you know, when you're here. So again, thank you everybody who showed up. Thank you so much. Thank you. Lauren just said, I love it, game changer. Thank you, Lauren. And this is all live, guys. If those are of you who might be coming in late or something, this is completely live. And if you've ever doubted that or wondered about that, go ahead and ask a question, and I can answer it. But not anymore because we're closing. So anyway, thank you again, everybody. And this is Casey Zeman, and I will be signing off. So talk to you very soon. Take care, and be a spiritual gangster yourself. Okay, bye-bye.